Discord. Um, Fantastic. How you doing today?
We just got into Sydney.
Okay, awesome,
Yeah,
awesome. You,
we
you guys,
flew into Halifax. Yeah, we're flew into Halifax from St. John's this morning, and then got on our tour bus, and now we're in Sydney.
there you go. Amazing. You guys played. Is it yesterday? Yesterday night?
Yeah,
First
last
show on
night.
the tour? Last night.
Yeah,
Okay, awesome. How was
yeah.
that? I saw you guys were all wearing white. What's the deal with that?
Just a way to attract attention to yourself.
There you go. I like it. Honesty is the best policy. How was the show? Good way to kick off the tour.
Yeah, we had a great time. Audience quite receptive.
Okay.
Really, yeah, we enjoyed them. They enjoyed us, and
What
then
more
Foreigner
can
came. Yeah, yeah, it's all
what
good.
more can you ask for? Fantastic. Tell me about how did this kind of tour come into fruition? Touring with Foreigner across Canada, a bit of the US too, right?
Uh, Not for us. We're just
Not for
doing
you. Okay, just
yeah,
Canada. Okay,
yeah, we're doing
okay.
12 shows. Yeah. Jeff Perry, the promoter, who he's been working with those guys for years.
Hmm.
They go, well, we need somebody in Canada, and they're banning some bands back and forth, and then someone came up with our name and asked if we'd be willing to do it, and the timing was perfect for us. We just got a new record out. Well,
Yes, I'd like to talk to you about that.
the record's coming out in January, but they've got three songs out now, and and it's a chance to play in front of some people you wouldn't normally get a chance to play in front of. So we're that's what we're trying to do.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, the new record, I guess I'll jump right into it. I noticed it's released as a single, but then there's a couple other songs on it, as you mentioned. Is it
Right?
true you guys recorded it in Porto, in Portugal?
We did, yeah, in
Cool.
April. Yeah,
What was the inspiration behind that? I was looking at the cover and I'm like, I recognize this bridge, and I'm thinking I have a photo of my in my camera roll being under the exact same bridge. So,
yeah, yeah. So Neil had been there a couple times. He'd walked the Camino from that side,
oh wow.
and he loved the city. But we were always looking to do a destination record, and he likes Europe. We all like Europe.
Of course. Of course.
And yeah. And he took it upon himself to contact 35 different studios from Greece to Wales.
Goodness me.
Yeah, and narrowed it down and really liked what we saw in terms of gear and their approach at Arta Recorders in Porto, and
Mhm.
that's what we went with.
Right on. Very cool. And it's called, is the single Run for the Fence, or is the whole project going to be called the
Yeah,
album that's coming, Run for the Fence?
running for the fence.
Running for the,
Um,
pardon me.
yeah, and yeah, as in rhymes with confidence.
There we go. That's
So
easy to remember.
it's on the record, and the other two songs are on the album as well. And yeah, they're just for people to get a taste of what it is we're doing.
Got it. I love it. It's a great sound. Good tracks.
Thank you.
I listened to a previous interview you did some years ago. I kind of was kind of you were kind of talking about your creative process, and I remember you said something along the lines of when we're kind of making songs, it's we're looking for kind of happy accidents.
Yeah,
Whether you're messing around with a bass line or someone figures out a riff on the guitar and the band just kind of builds around that. Is that kind of the same way you guys are still creating music, or did you have it all planned before you went to Porto? What was the whole? What's it like today?
yeah.
Your
So
experience?
yeah, that's the way we started out.
Okay,
Neil and I would start making noise on our instruments at the same time,
there you
and
go.
then I would record it with I had this Ghetto Blaster, this cassette system, which with these really great condenser stereo mics, and yeah, and then it'd be like, oh, I like what you're doing there, and then what I did, and that's how we used to put it together, right? So, and that's
Okay.
one of the ways to create your own sound. So we have this readily identifiable sound now. These things, Neil and I and Matt jammed in Victoria 2 or 3 days at Matt's rehearsal space. He's got a kind of a warehouse space in Victoria,
Oh, right on.
and then Neil kind of this gestated with him for a while. Then he came up with a bunch of other kind of guitar riff. It's a very riff rock kind of record, right?
Hmm.
And the whole thing starts with Neil now, where he has an idea, he uh, a concept. We'll call it a concept.
Sure.
Yeah. and it has parameters to it, right? And so he says, I see it as being, just the four of us, five of us with Dave, his brother, playing keyboards,
Okay.
and doing what we do, simple, direct, very riff rock oriented, right? And we all go, yeah, yeah, that sounds great. We all love that kind of stuff. So,
For sure.
and they had 6 or 7 of these riffs written, and then he would send them around, and we would kind of build them up a little bit. And then actually, what we did was we went over to his house. He lives in Gabriel Island, so
Oh,
the whole
beautiful.
band. So Neil and Dave and I and Matt went over to Neil's place, and he hosted us. His wife was out of town, which was great, and
You make
we
as much
had
noise as you want.
yeah, we had band camp, right? So it was like, yeah. So we'd play all afternoon, and then we would fire up the grill, and then we would have dinner and a little red wine, and then would go back in the studio and be there till midnight or one, and then go to bed, and then do it again the next day.
There you go. If
So
that's what band camp is, I mean, yeah, that sounds fabulous. Was this what time of year was this?
this was January of this year, or was it late last year? I can't remember.
Okay.
It's in the last year anyway. And yeah, so we come up with our parts, and that complement what Neil's doing, and then or whatever it does, and we record it. Neil's got obviously all the recording gear there, and then we get it to a certain stage, and then we bring in a producer. This time it was Warren Livesey, who's worked with us before, but he also worked with and
Oh,
Midnight
wow.
Oil and Matthew Good Band, and yeah, and
Okay.
yeah. So he's been a friend of ours for a long time, and uh, he's got his own ideas, right?
Yeah, I'm sure.
So we go. He flies out to Vancouver, and we spend 5 days in Josh Ramsey's studio, uh, pre-production, kind of hammering out parts. And then a few days later, or actually we did some shows, I guess, and then came back. And a couple of weeks later, we fly to Portugal and start recording.
There you go. So you get the game plan and you guys go in like it's game seven, ready to record and get it all done. Very cool. Interesting. I appreciate that very thorough answer too. It's it's good for a lot of us more music fans, people maybe aren't in the industry to kind of get an understanding or a picture of what the whole process is like. Um, You mentioned that you guys have a very identifiable sound, and 100% would agree with that. And I noticed that because, very excited to chat with you. And as a preparation, I've been listening to your music all week, and I clicked the Essentials album in Apple Music. Are you an Apple Music or Spotify guy? Are you a streamer?
Yeah, yeah, mostly Apple, but I
Okay,
do
me
dabble
too.
in Spotify. Yeah, yeah,
Me too. I'm an Apple Music purist. I like to be able to take my MP3 files and drag them into. I don't know how to do that with Spotify. Anyhow, I'm
yeah,
usually adverse to hitting essentials playlists on artists' pages. Like, I want to kind of click through and find what I want. And oftentimes I find I don't recognize a lot of the songs. But with you guys, there's 18 songs on this essentials playlist. I don't know if you have any creative, you know, direction over it or if it's just the Apple Music creates it. But I think I can. I knew if I didn't know the name, I knew 15 out of the 18 songs.
sure,
You
yeah.
have so many recognizable tunes. Just being a Canadian rock institution. How does it feel to have built such like an enduring catalog at this point? I mean, you can turn on the radio anywhere in Canada
Yeah.
and you'll hear one of your songs.
I don't think about it a lot.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, it's good. It's gratifying. There's no question about it, right? And I think some songs sounds better on the radio than others, but
Okay.
generally when I hear our stuff on the radio, I think it sounds really good, right? And it still
Hmm.
sounds kind of fresh. It reminds me of when we recorded it, and what we were thinking about and what we were trying to do. So it's a positive experience when I hear our band songs on the radio.
Absolutely. And I guess I want to build on that, I was thinking about I'm only 22 years old, so I suppose I'm part of a newer generation of listeners,
Right.
and it's become so obvious, as I mentioned, your music's always on the radio. It's stood the test of time, and I believe will continue to do so. Have you noticed like the relationship with your fans and listeners change? Like, what's it like seeing maybe younger people starting to come to shows and
It's crazy.
whatnot?
We started to notice this a few years ago, and it's only gotten more so.
Hmm.
And like we just did 2 nights at the Commodore Ballroom in Vancouver.
My parents were there. They were raving
There you
about
go.
it. They were
And,
raving about it.
and Stuart, I just want to say right now, while I have a chance, I really, really like your cap that you're wearing
Oh,
tonight.
thank
So
you. You know, I I love it too. I didn't like it last night. I don't know if you had a chance. Hopefully, you were too busy playing. You didn't get to see what went down in
yeah,
Pittsburgh last night. But
yeah. Well, 4-1 the last time I checked. I don't know what the final
I
score
think it
was.
was 5-1. But
Yeah.
the road trip's been good so far. So I think we can afford one hiccup.
Yeah, it's the team. The team looks like. I mean, it's there's a new coach, right? And there's
Hmm.
some gelling that has to happen. And there's two superstar players on it. You know, a defenseman and a goaltender, and everyone else
Yes.
understands their roles. I mean, I think that they can get into the playoffs with that team,
Me
and if you
too.
make,
I'm hopeful.
yeah.
I'm
So,
I'm a little worried about Philip Hedl though. The
yeah,
jury's out on what's happening with him. So.
yeah. But the problem, I think, is that they really depend on those two guys, and if one or both of them go down, they're just dead in the water.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's agonizing. I'm a lifelong Canucks fan. I'm actually from North Vancouver, but I go to school out here in Halifax. So
Sure.
it's I'm excited for this season. My dad, they have season tickets, and I was like, don't get them this year. It's not. He did, so hopefully
Yeah.
something good happens.
Yeah, we're gonna see. We're gonna see.
Absolutely we're gonna see. But sorry, you're talking about the younger fans.
Yeah. So at the Commodore, and every year it just gets younger and younger and younger. And I had to think about this, like what's going on here. And I'm thinking that for when I was 22, rock music was at the center of everything. It was
Hmm.
this. It was the culture of young people. I mean, there's other little things. There was disco, which has had its own little revolution, and a few other things, and then early days of hip hop, et cetera, et cetera. And there's
Yep.
always country and stuff like that. But and then it just it kind of there was kind of a build up in the '90s where it was still and then in the early 2000s it just kind of just went away, right?
Yeah.
And I think some people miss it. Some people really like that vitality. I know lots of young people listen to like classic rock.
Yes.
They're listening to old Rolling Stones records and Beatles and Pink Floyd and
For
Neil
sure.
Young and yeah, and Led Zeppelin. It's just it's really cool, right? And so I mean that obviously influenced us, and then of course punk, post punk, all this
Yep.
stuff. Yeah, that's very much important to us as well. And so it's this, we're part of that milieu, and I think that young people, they might have their their Spotify top 50 or whatever hell they listen to, but there's a bunch of them go like, they reject that, right?
I
And
would agree.
they're, yeah, and they're looking for something which is a bit more immediate, and has some sort of the word that comes to mind is soul. That's not
Sure.
exactly what
No,
I
I
mean by
can
that,
see what you
but
mean.
but
I can see what you mean.
but there's a feel, right? There's an interaction amongst the musicians that is unique, and it's human, right? There's a human quality to
Yes.
what it is that we
Yes.
do, yeah. And all that classic rock had that, and the punk obviously, and it was all played, and as we still do, and so it's happening, and it's a subculture now. It's not what most young people will gravitate towards, but there's a certain percentage to go, this is what I want to spend my time and energy on.
I mean I echo that. I guess I've always felt a little bit as a little bit of a suppose I could say a fringe listener growing up. I was just immediately influenced by what my parents listened to, so I've always listened to one of Eric Clapton, the Stones, Pink
Sure.
Floyd, so on and so forth. So I've always kind of listened in that category. And growing up with my peers, as I said, I'm now 22. I always felt a bit isolated because people are like, who's Eric Clapton, or who's
Yeah.
Peter Frampton, right? Yeah, I'm like, oh, you don't know what you're missing. One Night Only, that album, it's the best. Like, yeah, sure, man. But what I starting, I don't know if that's just this a stage in life where you start to explore more music that just isn't the pop music that everyone's listening to because people are starting to, I guess, suppose in adolescence and becoming an adult, you're becoming more of an individual. But I think I've noticed a lot more people my age now are into this music. For example, I met a friend on the hockey team out here. I was doing a group project with him. I didn't know him all that well, and he came into the studio, the radio station last week, and just he opened up like a flower, telling me all about this music he loves. He loves Pink Floyd, David Gilmour, and it's so cool to see
Yeah.
that. people enjoy it now. And I guess to your point, I suppose wrapping it back to what you said, country music is becoming fairly popular. I think there's an argument to be had that there's country music could be thought of in two ways right now: pop and then maybe more traditional country. But for some reason, I've been thinking about it in a way that's kind of giving me hope. I think it shows that people are maybe going to be more comfortable to start listening to more rock again. I don't think the
Yeah,
listeners ever disappeared, but I think that's an indicator of the trend you mentioned. I don't
yeah.
know if you agree with that.
Well, we will see.
Yeah, I suppose we will. Um, Speaking of the Commodore as a legendary venue, I wanted to ask you about another legendary venue your band 5440 has a relationship with El Mocambo in Toronto. I
Yeah.
absolutely love the live recordings that came out of there. How did you guys get kind of involved with them? It's such a legendary place. I mean, Stevie Ray Vaughan has an incredible album from there, the Rolling Stones, and other notable artists, and you guys.
From Halifax, April Wine.
That's right, April 1. I just saw that album today, actually.
Yeah. So, well, first of all, I mean, we wanted to be part of that.
Mhm, of
We want
course.
and then Michael Weckerly bought it and then fixed it up and put in a fantastic recording studio. Uh, and so it was all set, it was all wired to do this. And so he said, "Do you want to do this?" And we said, "Yeah, absolutely." And it was amazing, because we did 2 nights there, and we'd go up and we'd listen to be like the uh, just basically first mixes,
Mhm.
and the engineers right there. And I went, "This sounds great."
Yes, it does.
Yeah. And I listened to the record, and I'm going, "This is a great sounding live record." And I didn't do anything to go in there and fix stuff up. I mean, there might have been, a couple things. I never heard anyone go, and I go, "We're pretty good."
It's good when you can say that.
Yeah, because usually we are our own worst critic, right? I mean, you're always
Absolutely.
trying to get better, and you're always trying to go for more tone and feel, or whatever it is you're going for. And yeah, it really is. I think it's an incredible achievement. I think everyone should at least listen to 2 or 3 songs from that record if they ever get a chance.
Don't
5440 live at the album combo. Yeah.
don't worry, many people have because whenever I go to play 5440 on the show, I always pick that album. Not
Oh,
to
good.
neglect the other stuff, but I'm a huge proponent of live music. That's one, as I always say, people will roll their eyes, but it's the fabric of my show. It's called Crossroads. And
Gotcha.
I
Okay.
love playing live recordings. I think you just get the nuance, it feels alive. And I guess to ask you about that, what's the band's relationship with putting out live music? Does it just have to sound absolutely perfect?
No.
Like you just mentioned, or how do you feel
Yeah.
about
No. No. It doesn't have to sound perfect. It has to sound authentic.
that? That's right. That's
But you do try to play it as well as you possibly can,
mhm.
you know. But some of my favorite records of all time have got like mistakes. It's like,
What would some of those be?
well, like the end of Whole Lot of Love.
Oh
Bam,
yeah,
bam. There's a flam between the bass and the drums, right?
I'll have to listen
Or
to that. I don't know if
Yeah,
I've noticed that.
yeah. And When You Dance, I Can Really Love by Neil Young off of what's that record? Is
Oh,
it
let's see.
Zuma? It's off Zuma. Zuma. It's
I
off
think
Zuma.
you're right.
Yeah, yeah. It's like he's got this part he plays, and it just kind of flubs a note, right? And it's like I'm totally okay with that. And then George Benson did this live record, not live record, but it was a record called "The Other Side of Abbey Road," where he did
Okay.
these Beatles covers. This is very early in his career, jazz guy, and there's a couple, just like, and they went, well, "That's what you played. That's what's going to be on the record." So
Oh,
we've
that's
got no,
fantastic.
yeah, we got no problem with that kind of stuff. And neither did Led Zeppelin, and they did okay.
I think they
Or
did all right. I think they did they did just fine. I like to hear that. Yeah,
yeah,
as mentioned, I love live music. My friends will be driving. I'll be driving up to Whistler on the Sea to Sky or something, and I got my hands on the wheel. Hey, so and so, Nick, can you throw on "I Shot the Sheriff"? And he goes into my phone. He goes, "Which one?" There's 30 recordings. They think I'm nuts, but that's I absolutely love it. And speaking of, I guess, live music and kind of the spontaneity and the interesting things that come out of it, I noticed. Uh, my mom actually sent me a video from your show at the Commodore. I saw you doing "Rocking in the Free World."
yeah.
as part of the song "Love You," your song "Love You All." You kind of incorporate it into a medley with that. Is
Yes,
that
yes,
right?
that's right. Yeah,
And I noticed, I think on the Elmo Combo album, you play "Should I Stay or Should I Go?"
yeah.
Is that song kind of your canvas for, adding in a little cover or spicing the show up at the end, or
Yeah,
that's something you do a lot?
it keeps us engaged and interested,
Hmm.
and it's I think it's like a little treat for the people who are there, right? It's just that shows another side of us. We've dabbled in "Personal Jesus" by Depeche Mode.
Oh, cool.
We did uh, "Crazy Train" by Ozzy
Yep.
Osbourne for a little bit.
R.I.P.
Um, yeah, I mean, we just, we tried to mix it up. We did Born to Run by Bruce Springsteen, Taking Care of Business by BTO. We've done, probably a bunch of Rolling Stones, Do 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 Heartbreaker,
Mm,
Miss You.
cool.
Up until recently, we were doing, uh, what's that song? I love the song. 68. It was a single just before Beggar's Banquet. Um, I can't think of the name
Oh,
right
I'm
now.
sorry.
Yeah,
Wish I
that's
could
okay.
help you.
But anyway, it's yeah. So we do a lot of Rolling Stones, but oh geez, you see now you should talk amongst
Oh
yourselves.
no. Honky
Um,
Tonk
no, no,
Woman?
no. It's
Oh,
a riff run.
68.
Ba da 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 da
Dun.
da. Born in a Crossfire Hurricane.
Oh, Bone.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
Gimme
yeah.
Shelter. Not Gimme
No, no,
Shelter.
no.
No, no.
Just two. Yeah. It's the last one they did with Brian Jones. Uh, oh God.
Oh my God, this is agonizing.
Yeah.
I'm
See, this
trying
is
to
where
think
we're at
too.
now. Stuart,
Bennett
this
in
is your
class
fault.
5. Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Well, this is the questions you ask. You should ask me what my favorite color is,
Jumpin'
and then we
Jack
wouldn't have them.
Flash. Jumpin'
Jumping
Jack
Jack Flash.
Flash. There we go. I
Jumping
had to
Jack
look it
Flash.
up, but I
Yeah.
know. Yeah, of course. Dun
Yeah. Yeah.
dun na 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 na. There we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. 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 But
We're good.
yeah. So so yeah, you're right. But getting back to the question, yeah, that's our little spot. And oh, the one that we threw in for a while, but Neil just he can't do it, and he can't do it with a straight face anymore. And it was more of an ironic thing. Was Sweet Caroline,
Oh,
uh,
okay.
and I'm telling you, people love that song.
Oh, they do. They do love it, but I know it pains me when I hear it sometimes because it's so good, but
Yeah,
too
yeah,
many people love it.
yeah, 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 yeah. But
Oh,
anyway,
that's
yeah,
fun.
yeah. So and we have fun with that. Yeah.
Very cool. So you said you do it for a little bit. Do you guys, is it a situation where you guys are maybe just sitting around chatting, you go, okay, what if we tried this, then we're gonna throw it in the set list for a few shows? Or did you come into sound check and go, hey, I was just listening to Jumpin' Jack Flash or whatever, let's try it tonight. Sorry to
Well,
keep it
in
interests
the
me this.
case, well, Jumpin' Jack Flash, that was actually my idea, and I started it a long time ago. And then basically, people would look at me, and then they'd talk about their ideas. And then somehow we got into. I said it's in the same key. It's gonna, it's great. It's a similar tempo. And then finally, and then that's one of the ones that we bring out quite a bit. So a lot of it has to do with, I think a lot of it has to start with Neil. He's got to be in his range, right? And we can change to a key to do that thing, which we do with "Keep on Rocking" in the Free World.
Okay.
But there has to be a logical way to get back into the key of the song that you're in. So,
Right.
but we have a good musical theorist, Dave Genn, our guitar player. So he works all that stuff out, and it's fun. It's just flat out fun. We love it.
Great. Yeah, I'd love to catch one of your shows and hear that because I just saw the video my mom sent me. Oh wow, that looks amazing. So I guess reason you're here, you'll be here in Halifax this Friday playing
Mm-hmm.
with Foreigner. How often you're on a fairly extensive tour right now? What's a show look like for you? What do you how many songs you guys tend to play? Is the set list kind of different each night, or do you kind of pick a game plan, you kind of go with it?
It's been a contentious issue amongst
Oh,
the band. Yeah, yeah, and it's like everyone had their own ideas, and I, we're in extreme ends, right? Because we have all these stuff that we do in our normal show, which
hmm
involves audiences, and we had to think about whether or not. the it's appropriate to do that when it's not your show, and then you only have so
Interesting.
much time, and so if we did everything, we'd probably play 7 songs or something like that. And I was like, okay, Neil, no engagement, don't say anything. We'll play 10 songs, right?
Yeah.
So that's the other extreme. That was my idea. And then we had it at 8, and then we took out some things that we normally do. We still do, a couple things that are, kind of make it fun for us and interesting for the audience. And I think we're doing 9 songs in roughly 45, 50 minutes. So yeah, we'll have
Okay, great.
fun. We played last night in St. John's. Uh, I was, I mean, I didn't know what to expect, frankly,
Mhm.
and I was very, very pleased with the way the whole thing went. I enjoyed my time, so it's good.
That's great to hear. That's a good way to kick things off.
Yes,
It must be very rewarding, especially I guess as you mentioned, you're playing to, in some aspects or some respects, a newer audience. Perhaps some people haven't heard you before. I'm sure many have because I mean, like as we mentioned, you have so many recognizable songs. How do you guys choose with such a condensed set list? What hit songs you're going to play? Are there certain ones you guys just we have to play this or we're going to be in trouble, or you're trying to sneak in some of the newer ones too?
we're playing a new song. We're playing one new song, and
Okay,
8 hits, as we would call them.
there you go.
And there's a half a dozen that you just have to play every show, and then you flesh it out with the ones that you want to play that sort of work within the set. It's a construction process. It's it's well, I'm glad I don't do it anymore. We used to sort of divide that responsibility amongst the band members, like what the set list is, and you try to make it a little different in it or whatever. And now we just leave it up to Dave, the new guy in the band. He's only been in the band 22 years.
Oh,
Uh,
fresh
um,
meat.
Fresh meat, exactly. And he goes, I've always written a set list in every band I've ever been in. It's like, well, go ahead,
By all means.
knock yourself out. And people have input, right? But someone's got to make a decision, and obviously he listens very closely to Neil. Sometimes Neil can't sing a certain song, whatever,
Right.
So all that gets considered. But yeah, it's a lot of travel to play your 9 songs. But part
Hmm.
of the appeal for us is that we're playing in front of an audience we wouldn't get to normally play in front of. And there's anywhere from 2,500 to 6,000 people there,
Yeah.
and some of them are older, obviously, but like you say, they would know the songs, but they wouldn't necessarily associate the songs with the band, right? This is the
Okay.
thing, right? It would be
Interesting.
like,
How come?
I didn't know they did that one. I love that song. There's
Right,
that.
right. Oh
You
yeah,
can kind of
yeah.
see that reaction out there. The people got came down and danced behind the seats on the hockey rink last night. It was yeah, a lot of singing along, and so it was, like I said, it was quite gratifying. It was really great.
Fantastic. All right, I don't want to take up too much more of your time. So again, 5440 got Brad Merritt here on tour with Foreigner. Got lots of dates throughout Canada. New music coming out. There's a new single, Running for the Fence, with a couple other songs, Die to Heaven and Time Will Tell. And then you mentioned that the rest we should expect in January. Is that correct?
That's correct. January, Stuart. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. And then I guess not to be too greedy, what else is have you guys set your sights on anything else? You're gonna let the album come out and let everything marinate.
Well, exactly. That's exactly what we're going to do. Doing a lot more interviews with people like you when it comes out,
Okay.
and yeah, we'll see where things settle. We'll definitely be doing. We're probably going to do something out this way in the summer,
Okay,
but
fantastic.
yeah, we'll see. I know there's talks about that, and I think we're talking about doing some sort of theater run. Um, uh, Different sections of Canada over the next year and a half. So
Very
we'll see
good.
how that develops. And then yeah, there'll be a little bit of touring. We have some annual stuff that we do. So it's basically business as usual, Stuart.
There you go. Sounds good. Sounds good. Are you a skier at all? Or you enjoy the
I so I
mountains and beaches?
I used to snowboard. I still have a
Okay.
pretty decent snowboard. It's in my garage. I live on Vancouver Island now.
Okay,
There's
whereabouts? Well, I guess you know if I can
I live in
disclose, but
Victoria now.
Okay, cool. We spent a
Yeah.
bunch of time up in Qualicum, so
Well, so yeah, well, I've got friends up there, and there's a mountain not too far from there, Mount Washington.
yes, I've heard
Um,
it's great.
yeah, so I will get up there at some point. I might do that this winter. Yeah,
Perfect. Sounds great. Well, certainly appreciate you taking the time with me. It's an honor to speak to a Canadian rock legend. You guys are synonymous with rock and roll and
yeah.
just fabulous, fabulous music in Canada and beyond. So I really appreciate you taking the time. Good luck the rest of this tour. Hopefully, I'll be able to stop by this Friday night here in Halifax. Same to all you listeners. Go out and check out 5440. Um, as we've established, you will recognize pretty much everything you hear. Absolutely fantastic. So thank you so much. Anything you'd like to add or
No,
get
I
some
just want
rest
to
for the
say
next show?
no. I'm grateful for this opportunity too, Stuart. You made this fun.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. I've really enjoyed myself. So I appreciate you saying that.
I will see you on Friday night.
Sounds good. Fantastic.
All right.
Best of luck. Thank you so much.